Metal Up World, this is CJ with CJOrtiz.com and MetalMotivation.com. This is the first of a new 5-message series I'm doing on why are you bored when you should be busy. Now, this is all being shown in my Life Domination online coaching program, and you can learn more about that if you visit the link below. Now, why are you bored when you should be busy? I see this all the time on social media. I read this so often, it bewilders me. People writing that they are bored. People asking others if they know something that they can do. Now, I'm not talking about 5-year-olds. I'm not talking about 10-year-olds. I'm talking about grown people, men and women, that are suffering boredom. How in the hell can you be bored when you should be busy? You know, there's an old saying that goes, if you want to get something done, give it to a busy person. If you want to get something done, give it to a busy person. Why? Because a busy person is in motion. A busy person has created a mentality to get things done. Don't give it to a lazy person. Don't give it to the person who's bored, because they're going to find this as something else that they can put off. What does bored even mean anyway? Boredom is essentially a lack of interest. That's basically the definition. Boredom is a lack of interest. And only those, I hope you hear me, only those who settle for who they are, what they've accomplished, and what they have can be content with any season of boredom. I can't remember the last time I was bored. It had to be when I was 10 or 12 years old. Ever since then, I have been driven by interest. I have been driven by passion. Same thing has to go for you. Again, boredom is the lack of interest. Have you really settled for who you are? Have you really settled for what you have? Have you really settled for all that you've accomplished? Well, if so, then I can understand why you are bored. There's nothing for you to do. What happened to your interests? What happened to the things that used to fuel you? What happened to the things? I don't believe that you've been this your way your whole life. I refuse to believe that. You didn't make it to 35, 40, 45 years old being bored every day of your life. What happened? What cooled off in you? What flames need to be fanned again? What needs to be stirred up in you again? What interests and passions need to be brought back to the surface? Maybe we need to sit down and have an interrogation sentence where we just meet and pulverize and poke at every little thing, every little excuse, every little self-compromise that you've made, where you've settled with mediocrity, where you've settled to remain where you are. While the world is teeming with opportunity for you, while there is so much possibility and potential still within you, untapped, unreleased, undeveloped, and you sit there wondering what to do with your time. Why the hell are you bored when you should be busy? This is what I'm talking about all this week in this series. Why are you bored when you should be busy? Should be? Absolutely. Because you've got so much inside you. You've got so many talents, so many abilities, so many interests. You're not dead yet. You're not a stone. You still have life in you. Now, those things may be buried deep right now. Okay, they may be covered over. You may have been through a lot. You may have been hurt a lot. You may have had a lot of injustices done to you. You may have reasons for the way that you are right now. But what's your reason for staying there? That's my question. You may have reasons for being where you are right now, but what's your reason for staying there? Are you going to stay there? Or are you going to break out of it? Are you going to move out of it? Are you going to let your life just tick on by until eventually we bury you with all of that potential? You know, they say that a graveyard is filled with potential. A graveyard is filled with potential. We don't want you to go to your grave missing out on the kind of life you could have lived because you're suffering from a lack of interest. This is not a disease. This is not an ailment. This is not some sickness or handicap that you can't break free from. This is something that you can escape. This is something that you can do something about. Well, let's do something about it. Let's create the life that you want. Don't compromise yourself. Don't betray yourself. Tear up this contract with mediocrity. Don't settle. Come out of the complacency. Come out of the laziness. Stop putting things off. Get activated. Create the kind of life that you want. Again, that's what I'm talking about all this week in the Life Domination Coaching Group. I'd love to have you participate in all of this. If you'd like to, then just simply visit the link below. It is the private Facebook coaching group that I run. I administrate it. I would love to have you be a part of it. Who else is in there? Other people just like you and just like me. Motivated people trying to create a better life for themselves. No haters or critics, none of that. It's a private group. Again, I administrate it. There's 5 videos a week each week on a separate topic. And you'll also have access to my archives of over 530 videos done so far in the group. You'll have access to that, plus access to the group. You'll be able to ask questions. We can work together more so on helping you to create that better life. Less than $20 a month. You can sign up anytime. You can quit anytime. There's no contracts, all right? So there's really nothing to lose. So how about it? Join today. Visit the website, metalmotivation.com/life domination coaching. This is CJ, the Metal Motivator. And remember, in whatever you do, don't suck. Metal up.